History happened on the 12th of October 2019 when a human being ran 42 kilometers in 2 hours with 150,000 fans on the street, reaching an estimated 500 million homes on live broadcast across 196 countries. Who is this human being?
If you ask me, now who I go ask?
Hi guys, my name is Tori Okwe, the movie talkative, and today I'll be talking about a documentary on Netflix titled Eliud Kipchoge.
Sporting immortality does not come easily.
A brief history about Eliud Kipchoge. Eliud Kipchoge was born in Kenya in 5th of November, yes, 1984, and is regarded as the greatest marathon runner.
But whenever he does return, he returns as a history maker. He returns as the greatest marathon runner ever. He returns as the greatest.
So what are the lessons from this documentary? One, the mind. It's obvious that Kipchoge possesses an outrageous mind. You know, it is fantastic how someone can turn an individual sport into a collective sport. Athletics is meant to be, competitive, the winner, gold, bronze, silver, and all of that. But with the mind that Kipchoge has, he was able to turn sports into a performance, like running 42 kilometers in 2 hours. I bet you cannot even run 1 kilometer in 2 hours. But he did it because he had an awesome mind.
What motivates me is the love of sport and how sport can transform this world. I've learned that you can use sport to actually unite all the people in the whole world.
Number two is inspiration and mentor. The first person Kipchoge saw running in Olympics as a Kenyan became Kipchoge's coach. Kipchoge was exposed while he was young. He saw his coach running long distance race in Olympics, and he said to himself that he wants to be like this person. So he was exposed. But not just that, he learned from that same person. He ensured that that man became his coach. And today we don't know the coach, but we know Kipchoge, and he's making a reference to that coach up to now.
Eliud was just a normal boy. He didn't take running that seriously. It was a means to an end, a way of getting to and from school. But it was a meeting with his neighbour, Patrick Sang, an Olympic and World Championship silver medalist, that changed his life.
So, wherever field we find ourselves, there are successful people there. And we don't need to create a new blueprint or a template to success. Some people have been successful in the banking industry, in the music industry, and what have you. Just meet up with these successful people. Yes, I know not all successful people like to share their journey or how they became successful, but some are always willing to share, and those are the people you should meet. Following their blueprint, their template, their corrections, their rebuke, and their motivation, the sky is just the starting point.
What struck me then was, a guy who is persistent, somebody who wanted to succeed in running.
Lesson three is teamwork. There is no successful person that I know that doesn't have a team that is backing them up. Talk of anybody that you know of. If you ask them deep down, there is always a team that they are working with, and that team ensures that this person becomes successful.
A human being is about his conscience. And many people actually are stuck in their conscience that they need to live. They are living on what they have only, and that's enough. So I was running with me and my whole team. We were training and aiming to run 159 in order to actually remove that those things in human beings' minds, that they are not limited and they can do whatever they want.
So lesson four is trust.
A team of 41 pacemakers was assembled, with some of the best distance runners from around the world.
You can get the link to watch the race or the performance from the description box on this video, and you will see that while Kipchoge was running, he had people they call pacemakers. Kipchoge had to trust these people because they were the ones to determine the pace at which he will be running. He was guided on the left, on the right, and at the center as well. So he had to trust these ones that this thing I'm trying to achieve, these people around me can help me get there. So it is essential that we trust people. I know there are stories of people that they cannot trust anybody because they've been served breakfast, a lot of things have happened, they've been denied, they've been betrayed, and all that stuff, and they can't trust anybody anymore. But I'm here to tell you that if you're going to achieve anything in this life, you need to learn to trust people.
He is a phenomenal person as well as a phenomenal athlete, and there he is just bunched in behind the Pacemakers. The absolute trust between all 8 people at any one time. Barring any unforeseen circumstances, the formation will remain the same throughout each of the teams. And the one constant throughout of all this, of course, is Eliud himself. Eliud Kipchoge there in the white.
Lesson 5, environment. Let me ask you, when you think of a country called Kenya, what comes to your mind? The first thing that comes to my mind is the US, first black president. But before then, what comes to my mind is long distance races. There are 2 countries in Africa that I know. The first is Kenya and the second is Ethiopia. It's like they are mentally, physically, emotionally, and all the alley that you can think of. They are built to run for long distance races.
Run around.
The way the community are brought up, because they are brought up in such a hardship life, whereby you struggle so much to earn a living. Maybe you work in the farm, you do a lot of casual works. We used to do everything by running. We were running to school, and of course we are far away from school, maybe around 3-4 kilometers away. You run so that you cannot get late. It was always good when you get...
Kenyan street sports like a profession. You have to train to become the best. It is said that if you come back home with anything less than gold, then you are not good. What an environment.
The important thing is inspiration. It's not fame. So when I saw all the footage from all over the country, from Mombasa, Nairobi, Eldoret, Malaba, all across the whole country in Kenya, then I was really happy.
So what?
Lesson 6, humility. If you are poor, yes, you can be humble because you don't have anything to brag about. You don't have anything to be proud of. Like, you don't want to brag with your poverty. But when you become successful, that is when you have to learn humility. Kipchoge is an embodiment of humility. Throughout the videos, as I was seeing that, man, this man is humbled by his beginning, by his story and where he's coming from. And it's just something to learn, that regardless of the heights we get to, regardless of how successful we become, humility is something that we have to learn at every phases of our life.
The training camp we have, the work that has been to be done. Every athletes, we do our general cleaning. And Eliud is part of the team that is doing the general cleaning. That's motivating the young athletes that no matter how good or great you are in the world, other things still matter as a human being.
Lesson 7, practice. Even though Kipchoge is regarded as the greatest marathon runner, this is not the first time he's doing it. He still had to practice. Like, he had to practice with pacemakers, he had to practice with a whole lot of tech guys, people that have been sold out to the athlete industry. So there is nothing in this life, whether you're a stand-up comedian, whether you're a musician, whether you're an MC, whatever thing that you do, as a creative person or as someone that performs, there is need for you to practice.
Years of work had gone into the Ineos 159 challenge to try and run a marathon in under 2 hours. A huge team behind the scenes had left no stone unturned. But ultimately, it came down to one man and the clock.
Lesson 8, failure. There was a quote I heard in that documentary, and it said that having a good result is not the same as making history. The documentary we saw was not the first trial of Kipchoge. There was one before then, and he was just few seconds past 2 hours, and Kipchoge regarded it as failure. I was like, bro, what are you saying? Just few minutes behind 2 hours, and you regard it as failure. Wow. So one thing is that successful people are not afraid to fail, because they believe that if they fail once, they try again. They try again until they get what they want.
He made an attempt in Monza in 2017, missing out by just 25 seconds. So to actually achieve it, to run 26.2 miles in less than 2 hours, everything would need to be perfect. So where to start in planning for something no one had done before? For Elliot, at his base in Eldoret, life for him and the team was simple. They had one focus. But despite the pressure, he remained unchanged. Elliot was just
Lesson
Elliot.
9, growth. It is not the same people that you roll with while you were 5 years old that you will roll with while you are 50 years old. It is not the same strategy that makes 3 hours run that will make a 1 hour run. It is not the same mindset, it is not the same knowledge that made you 1 million naira that is going to make you 1 billion naira. There has to be growth. And if we are not growing, we will be stagnant. So it is important that we have a growth mindset where we know that what we know now is not the best that we can know.
So far, all is going to plan. So early days yet, still a long way to go. But the exchanges have gone very well so far. Elliot's on pace, so far so good.
I'm interested in the conceptualizing of the formations. Can you take us through that process?
Yeah, so we've done a lot of work in the build-up to this event in terms of looking at the formations, what was best for Elliot, what would give him the most protection out on the course. So we've come up with it's not a conventional formation. We've done a lot of testing with the athletes at the test event and here in the last couple of days. But we've got a fantastic group of world-class athletes. So they're relishing the opportunity and they're working well in the formation, communicating with each other. And so far, it's all going very well.
Like everything, there is regional, there is national, and there is international, and all that stuff. So the strategy that brought you to regional, or the practice time that you are making for regional, will not be the same practice time you're going to have for national. Will not be the same practice time you are going to have if you are going to Olympic. So there has to be growth. So the team that you use for sport is not the same team that you use for performance. So there has to be growth with every team. Growth is even part of the characteristics of living things.
I do see a little bit of strain maybe on his face. He's kind of puffing his cheeks, maybe doing a little smiling. It means he's working hard, as it should be. This should be hard. But I can see some signs that I didn't see about 5K ago that he's working.
I think
he's already working.
Yeah, I think he's having a little difficult little patch.
Yeah.
And lastly, negative vibes. There's this song by MI and Two-Face.
If nobody talk about you, then you are nobody. When I true, them talk on a lie. My guy, my lie.
One of the reasons why you should know you are trying is when people are saying something about you, whether bad or positive, or whether they are criticizing you, either destructively or constructively. That is when you know you are doing something. But if you are not getting any feedback, if nobody is saying anything, nobody is advising you to be better, you should just know that you are not trying. See, you don't even need to chase negative energy. They will come right for you. Because when you start doing something purposeful, negative energy will come around you and you must know how to deal with it.
Kipchoge, got his shoulder, 140, the unofficial time.
There's his wife.
Elliot Kipchoge storms into the history books in Vienna. 1:59.40, the unofficial time. The first man to run a marathon in under 2 hours. Kipchoge was right. No human is limited. He has done it.
So that was all from me on documentary. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoy it. And I hope that you go to see the documentary itself on Netflix. And I would love to hear your feedback. Follow me on all my social media platforms and subscribe to my YouTube channel. See you in my next video. Bye.